The fashion world is, well, learning to adapt to the new normal. What's the current landscape for fashion photographers amid this pandemic? Let's find out from international photographer Lope Navo. Lope, thank you so much for joining us on The Final Word. Great to have you with us.
Hello, good evening, Rico.
You know, Lope, you've been traveling around the world for the past 2 years, doing photo shoots here and there for a lot of very popular European brands, but now you're here in Manila. Tell us, how are you coping during this pandemic?
Well, I came back and I was traveling for the past 2 years, so it's been a roller coaster of a journey. And I came back and quarantine happened, so everything turned into a halt. But while I'm in quarantine, I have been working on many projects in Makati, actually, Los in Makati, and I have a new magazine and a new book coming out. So I tried to make use of the time while
You really have a remarkable resume. I've been doing a background check on you, Lope. Campaigns for Mossimo, Christian Dior, covers for top international magazines. Just take a look at that for Esquire. So what do you think from your standpoint will be the new normal for fashion photography?
Well, I was interviewed in another magazine in Indonesia, and they asked me about virtual photo shoots. And I thought, yeah, it's like a new trend going on, but I don't think companies or brands will have like a new trend with virtual photo shoots, because it's not.
What's the process of a virtual photo shoot, Lope?
A virtual photo shoot is like the photographer. It's like this, we're talking to each other,
Yes.
and then you'll be the model, and I'll be the photographer, and I'll be taking the.
But you won't be able to feel the moment, right? When you're photographing a model or a subject.
Yeah, the human part is gone.
Yes.
I mean, that's the most important factor of being a fashion photographer. It's the human factor. You have to be there at that moment to capture that kind of beauty in front of you. So that's what fashion photography is all about.
But I just want to find out from you. You are now an international recognized photographer, but you finished fine arts and you are basically a painter. How did you stumble upon photography?
Yeah, actually, I graduated in FEU decades ago, and I was a painter, and then I traveled the world, and it's eventually evolved my job from being a painter to a computer graphic designer, and then now I'm a fashion photographer full time.
And
so
who are your biggest influences in photography?
Well, I think my biggest influences is photographer Bruce Weber. They compared my work to Herb Ritts many times because of the very iconic. I mostly shoot men, although I shoot women very well also. But so they compared me to those works, and I think up to today my works are still kind of consistently close to those styles.
Yeah, just taking a look at the photographs that we have right now on our screens, you really get the emotion, the soul, and the passion of the model and the subject matter. I'm sure you're so eager to travel once again, Lope. And
Yes. Yeah,
it's difficult to be stuck here and not see the world and not to do your photo shoots in person. But once you get out of the Philippines, what would be the first thing that you would love to do? And which project would you like to photograph?
Well, they always say that once a photographer, you're always a photographer, and I always love photographing people. So it's what made me become a photographer is that I can take pictures of people. So I think I'm good at it, and I can't wait to be surrounded or to be in a place where I can just thrive doing what I love to do.
And a lot of upcoming photographers are watching us right now, Lope, on The Final Word. What kind of advice can you give them? I'm sure many of them are not only aspiring to be photographers here in the Philippines, but also break into the international scene. What will it take for them to be able to move to that next level?
Well, I think there's a lot of hard work. You have to pay your dues, like it's not easy. It's years and years and years of training. You have to also do your research. You have to be inspired and truly love what you're doing. And you have to make your mistakes when nobody else is watching. Because nowadays in the internet age, once your work is out there, it's always gonna be out there. So there's no taking those pictures out. So you have to make your mistakes while nobody else is looking.
We always have to learn. We always have to learn from our mistakes and our disappointments. You've had so many successes, Lope. Please tell us, what were some of your disappointments?
When it comes to my photography?
Yes, your photography.
Well, I had a book released like many years ago, and I just wish that it's been followed as soon as the book was launched. But it took me, I think, a decade to have the sequel to the book. So I just wish it would have been earlier, but that's the only thing. Because I love taking pictures and I like showing it to people. I like seeing my name on the byline,
Yes.
like a writer. So
that's
the
a
most
major
important thing for
accomplishment.
me. Yeah. It's a great feeling.
We wish you all the best in your career, Lope Navo. Thank you so much for joining us on The Final Word.
Thank you, Rizon. Always a fan of your work too.
Thank you so much for joining us. And Lope, we borrow the words of the late fashion icon Karl Lagerfeld. He says, what I like about photography is that they capture a moment that's gone forever, impossible to reproduce.